Hi. So it is lunchtime here in Norway, and I guess you can join me for lunch. I'm still processing a lot of thoughts that I had yesterday. So I didn't make this post yesterday evening, although I do have a guest lined up for us later today. And I'm just looking at my notes and I'm thinking about all of the stuff that we talked about yesterday. I went to a workshop with the Ocean Opportunity Lab, and it was on tornado leadership and how to really make change across a wider industry and across the world, and how to really enable and enact that change. And I just saw Nada Ahmed. She posted a post about being authentic and being authentic on social media. And she just has a book coming out, and she's been so polished on LinkedIn and the videos. And I feel like sometimes completely not polished and it's all a bit ad hoc. But anyway, her new book's coming out called Determined to Lead, and it's coming out in like 5 days. And I was really thinking about the impact that she's having through what she's doing, and then how that kind of relates to what we talked about at the workshop yesterday with tornado leadership, and really being able to motivate and incite and strengthen and harness the power of change and the power of vision. And I'm thinking about this project that I'm doing on the human-centered ocean industry, and what kind of changes that I would like to make, and what kind of future I would like to build, and have us build it together, and what the vision of that future is. And we talked about it so much at the workshop, like talking about the future in the first person vernacular, and being able to really describe and feel what that future would look like. And I was thinking about, if this project is able to have the kind of impact that I hope that it can have, and the kind of movement that I hope that it can make, with all of us working together, even if we're just talking during lunch, that maybe we can really scale and get traction on what we should be doing, and how we should be talking about the future, and how we can build it together, and what the mood of that future is. And so I kind of want to try small experiment on really telling that first person story. And for me, looking at what the future could feel like, what it could look like, um, I think that we can take a small story. So if we have, let's say, a manager of a fleet of vessels, maybe they're manned vessels, and it's 20 or 30 years from now. And she wakes up in the morning and she's going to make her coffee, and she checks on her phone where the fleets of vessels are, and how uh, just in time the logistics is working, and that the vessel is going to be on the site quite soon. So she gets in her car, and the car is driving itself, and she's looking through her phone and lining up, okay, this vessel is going to be at that location just in time for that delivery of, say, this circular material to come back to the manufacturing plant where it's due to hand off to the customer. And that vessel that she's looking at will also need to have some maintenance, and so she's organizing the maintenance, and all of this is happening on the way to visit the vessel for an on-site inspection. She arrives at the vessel, and she goes aboard and talks to the crew members there, and one of the crew members has their grandfather visiting, and their grandfather, he used to work at sea. He was working at sea for a really long time, and he said that when he walked on board, the first thing that he noticed was the the ship doesn't smell. And any of you who spent time on vessels, the ship's smell of diesel, the ship's smell of, this kind of linoleum flooring, and it's really a tangible smell. It's a smell that stays with you. You go home and you open your luggage and it smells like diesel. And the first thing he notices when he visits on board is there's no smell. And there's no smell because we've changed fuels. And that it's working really well and everything is aligned. And then there's other vessels that are going for aquaculture and going for salmon farming, and the fuels are being produced from waste material and from material that's available in the sea. And I'm not sure exactly how this is going to go, but I want you to add on to this story. So I'm going to think about this more today and in our discussion this evening with the guest, and we'll see what happens. I think we can build the future together, and I hope that you do too. Have a great lunch. Talk soon.